Hi, I'm Andy Webb from BeCleverWithYourCash.com. The whole point of my blog is to show that whether you've got money or whether you haven't got much, you can still do a lot more with it. You can still be smarter with how you spend and how you save. So over the next 7 days, I'm going to just make little videos and put them all together about how I spend during the week, the things that I'm doing. It's not going to be anything different. It'll be what I do, the kind of way that I work with me and my mind and the way I spend cash. But it will kind of show you that even if you don't have any money, you can still do stuff without breaking the bank. And if you have lots of money, maybe you can you're not getting the best value for it. So you can cut back in places, spend things a bit smarter and have more money left over for other things or even for savings. So that's going to start tomorrow. I'm going to record, not everything because that would be insane, but little bits and pieces, put it together. And in the accompanying article, I'll total up all the savings that I've made so you get a real sense of how much being clever with your cash can save you. So this is the first bit of day one of this challenge. Obviously I'm getting a tube. That's going to be a big expense throughout the week. You can pay as you go for every journey. You can get day travel cards, you can get week travel cards. I'm hopefully saving by using my contactless card, which will cap every day how much I spend, and also by the end of the week it will cap as well. So I shouldn't be spending a lot less than if I paid for things individually. We'll see how that goes by the end of the week. I'm not too far from my office in central London, and a lot of people will go to places like Pret, or there's a Pizza Express over there, and there's all sorts of stuff around there. I bought a packed lunch instead, which is going to save me, again, a really big chunk of money. Doesn't take too much time. I don't know exactly, I'll figure it out for the article, but I reckon it's possibly cost me maybe less than £1 to make my sandwich, whereas we know in there it's going to be £4 plus all the little extras, little snacks and bits and pieces. So doing this is a big way that I save money as well. So it's near the end of my first day of my little spending challenge. I've been out for some drinks with some old school friends. That's quite difficult to kind of save some money on. You can do things like go to Wetherspoons or bits and pieces, bring down the prices, but can't do much about that. We went for dinner. We went here to Oaxaca, which is a lovely sort of Mexican restaurant chain. There's quite a few of them now. I know it's good value, so I knew it was going to be kind of pretty decent money, but I didn't realise they had this Taco Tuesday. So it's day 2. I've been working from home today, which means I'm saving money, obviously, because I'm not going to those expensive, nice lunchtime places. I'm using leftovers, which are, I think it's bolognese, it could be a chili, for my lunch, which will, great way of making sure we don't waste money. Average family loses about £600 a year in wasted food. And then I'm going to have a sandwich before I go out later on. We've got our own bread maker, which has been a real fantastic money saver. Think about a loaf of bread, £1, £1.50. Particularly, I like the kind of seeded, malty stuff. A bag of flour makes 4 loaves of bread, and that's £1.50. So once you've taken into account some of that, it can make a huge difference. So I'm going to get on with cooking my dinner now. I'm out again tonight, and it's going to be quite a cheap one because I'm going to a free comedy recording. They're the websites where you can kind of get tickets to see TV shows being recorded, a lot cheaper than paying for a club night. Although my experience with these is sometimes there's a lot of retakes and they can take quite a while. But there's also no bar in there either, so I'm not going to spend any money when I'm in there. That's not, ideally there would be a bar, but it's another money saving thing for today. I love movies, as you can see, and there's nothing better than going to the big screen though, much better than watching it on a DVD. So after work today I did that. I went to the cinema, I saw Monster Calls, and I paid £4.50 to see it. This is in central London on a Thursday. No other sort of 2-for-1s or anything like that. This is just the price I paid. And that's because I've got an NUS card. Now, I'm not a student, but you don't have to be a student. And I'll put the link below the video and in the article explain how anyone can get an NUS card. But not only do you get a student price, Monday to Thursday at Odeon, you get an extra 25% off. So an already cheap ticket has cost me even less, which is a great way to keep seeing things, seeing the latest releases for less. So it's day 4, it's Friday, I've just got home, I've been in town for most of the day. I had to go in for a radio interview in central London first thing, but then I had about 2 hours to kill before meeting up with some other money bloggers for lunch. So I needed to get some work done, but I managed to find a cafe, which, although it doesn't have free Wi-Fi, I was there completely undisturbed. I didn't have to buy any food or drink, and I managed to connect my phone data to my laptop and get some work done that way. Then after that, I met with the guys. We went for a really nice lunch at a place called Dishoom. It's not the cheapest place, but it's not expensive either. It's really, really good value. And I think it's worth paying, you know, £2 or £3 more for some food that's going to be really nice than, say, you know, 12 quid on something that's just going to be a bit average. Just had a delivery from Waitrose. Just been stacking up the fridge with all our bits and pieces we've got. Might not always be the cheapest supermarket, but I think you can get good quality, and we've got ways to sort of save money there. Buying gift cards from Zeek, using their offers for things we often frequently buy. But one of the problems I have with online shopping, and it's happened again today, is the substitutions are always rubbish. So we've sent them back. But we've also sent back was this large gammon joint that we ordered, but it was twice the size of what we actually said we wanted. And we don't need something that big. It's a complete waste. Even if we put it in the freezer, we don't need it. So I've sent that back as well. So don't feel that you have to keep things that you get on online order when they arrive. If you don't want them, just give them back to the delivery driver. So I've just been to Crystal Palace. We lost 4-0. So you could say that was money wasted, but I managed to get a student ticket with my NUS card. So that was only £23 wasted rather than nearer to 40 quid. I've just got a train. I've only gone a few stops, just a short journey, but a paper ticket would have cost me £3.70. However, I've used contactless, I've just tapped in and tapped out between the different zones. This is overground, it's not underground, it's on the overground trains, and it's cost me £2.30. So it shows decent savings you can make just looking at the prices, looking at different ways you can buy stuff. It's Sunday, day 6. Last night we went out for dinner with some friends at their house and stayed over, so that was a not massively expensive night. And then we've sort of driven home from South London back to where we live in East London via IKEA, which is as fun as you can imagine. Bought a few bits and pieces. Now we're home, something I've just done, which isn't actually for something this week, it's for actually something I'm doing in a month's time. As I'm going to Sheffield, and I've bought the train tickets just now. It's cost me 42 quid. Ideally, I'd have booked them 12 weeks in advance rather than a month in advance, but I didn't know exactly what was happening. So as soon as I knew what was going on, I booked them. 42 quid. If I'd booked them on the day, which lots of people do, it would have cost me 100 quid. So that's one of the best things you can do. If you're going by train, is book it as early as you can. So it's the last day of my challenge to see how much I can save in a week just by being clever with my cash and spending in smart ways. As you know, from at work, I get a packed lunch pretty much every day unless I'm going out for dinner with friends. But on a Monday, every Monday, I go to Boots because with O2, there's a thing called O2 Priority Moments, and it gives you a meal deal for £1. So that's a pretty good saving. And there's a trick that even if you're not on O2, I'm not on O2, it means you can get that deal as well, and any of the other sort of freebies that they give. So that's another good saving to sort of top off the week. Right, I've added up all the savings I made over the last week. The ones that are in the video, ones that I didn't even film, but every time I spent, I wrote down what it was that it cost, and I've worked out what the full price would have been. And the total for the 7 days is £237. That means it's over £1,000 in a month, and over 12 months, over a year, £12,325 is the total. Okay, so your week might not be as typical as that. You might be spending more, you might be spending less, but it gives you an idea, I think, of how being clever with your cash really can make a huge difference. And that's the whole reason I do, why I love what I'm doing. So take a look at the article that will come with this video. It'll either be below in the notes if you're looking on YouTube, or if it's on Facebook or on the blog, you'll find it there as well. And that'll have all the different tips of how I've done all the savings throughout the last week. Also, if you're on YouTube, please do subscribe to the channel and share it around as well so more people can find this content. I'm Andy Webb, and this is Be Clever with Your Cash.